This is Divine Sunshine, and I am your soul transformational specialist. I'm doing a simulcasting on Twice, YouTube, and IGTV. I'm going to try something new because, again, YouTube has been a little sketchy. I'm not really happy about my message getting out there. It's not about the fame and the whatever, but the things and the content that I know the Spirit is giving me is extremely important, and I like it to kind of be broadcast is for many people as possible that can get the information. And I'm finding that it's only getting to a selective few. Okay, so those of you all that's new to me on IGTV, my name is Divine Sunshine. I am an intuitive reader. I read the cards. I go beyond just reading just tarot cards. Hey, Mimi. Thank you. Hey, Charm. And so I go into the cards and I look and see and get a real good understanding as to through the pictures and how it illustrates and breeds to me an actual message. And so that's what I'm pretty much about on here. So I'm talking to my IGTV people in case this is new for them, seeing this. And for my regular YouTubers, hey, how you doing? Divine, my Sunshine Lounge people as well. So I just want to jump on here because we got some work that we have to do. Hey, Margaret, see it even showing the number. See, now on my screen, it says only one person watching. I'm looking over here in the chat box. I see 1, 2, 3 people watching right now. That's why I say YouTube is being very interesting. I love you, but you're not being truthful there. So again, so I'm just going to come on here and just kind of give you all the thing. I was feeling tired, and all of a sudden I got this energy from somewhere. This has been happening all this weekend. I have had like a surge of energy, a lot of surging, but the surge of it is a lot of cleaning up and a lot of like, let's hop to it and let's go, because this energies that we have now that's happening with this eclipse. I told you before, and I didn't read any of the astrological stuff, but then when I went and looked and seen, it came to me, source it told me in the last reading I did with you all live, it was Gemini and Sagittarius. I went and I seen a couple of people's things that's talking about this eclipse, and it is affecting the Sagittarius and the Gemini signs. And I was like, oh my God, but it's also affecting the Pisces and the Virgo. Okay, and so again, that's interesting. Both of Pisces, Sagittarius, and Gemini have duality in their signs. Okay, that is where the conflict is going to come in. But thank God for the Virgo in their aspect of it. The Virgo, which they say is not in there, I think that's the only one that's not left, but something about it, because it's not left, you need to rely upon, if I heard them correctly. And I'm not an astrologist, so don't be me and say your stuff is off. I don't claim to be that. But I do know whatever spirit chimes into me. Virgo is where we get to be able to play upon that because it has the perfection. You know, everything is very detailed, very put together. And so with that Virgo, that's going to help us. But again, in between all of that, there is a conflict that's going on with us. And that's why I said the spirit brought to me, I kept on hearing I can hear him, the Isley brother say, I got work to do. I got work, baby. I got a job, baby. I got work, baby. So we got a lot of work to do, especially in this, what's going on. I don't want us to really get too much caught up with, the thing of, it's the retrograde, it's the Saturn, it's the stuff, everything again is according to your intentionality. So you can tell in this retrograde or in this pattern about Saturn and all these things that's going on. Listen here, I understand it's about lessons, and I'm going to look at it that in these lessons that I'm going to get, there's going to be blessings, there's going to be breakthroughs, there's going to be things working for my highest good. So I understand universe, you're working for the betterment of, you got to remember again, they like people that work for you. We keep on thinking like the universe is working against us, and that's not so. That's something that's been kind of programmed in us from the 3D aspect of it. And we've got to get to the point that we're really saying, okay, you know what, you work out for me. You are working in accordance for me. And again, and I'm going to work with you. So we got to kind of work together. We can't have that conflict. But again, set the intentionality as far as the lessons are going to come. Now, you can't sit up there and circumvent and say, I don't want no lessons, because no lessons means no growth. That's what we have to do the work with. Okay. So I'm sorry if I'm not paying attention to you too. So you have to remember that this goes twofold here too, and we're working together. And if it's not, you set the intentionalities to say, okay, we're working together on this. Spirit and source. And so again, I want the lesson, and I want the blessing, and I want to say the breast. Well, you probably might have to nurture yourself as you're going. That's not a bad slip up. You're nurturing yourself, since I said breast. So you will find yourself nurturing. So they say nurture yourself, be kind to yourself in the whole process of things as well. So I just want to kind of go into it because that's interesting. I said breast on here, and then it led right on into that, which is here about caring connections. Okay, I'm gonna have to do it like I'm like two kids. I'm talking to you and I'm talking to these people over here. So we have caring connections here, okay, which is cornucopia, which is again to get the blessing. That's what cornucopia would be to me. Cornucopia would be the blessing, okay? And in order for you to be having these caring connections too, and you want to be connected to the things, but in order for us to do that, to me, what they're bringing to me is you got to handle it with care. You've got to take care of things. And in order for you to take care of things, and that's why I say we got work to do, which is this means that we've got to actually put the work in there. We can't just sit up there and say, okay, universe, teach me, give me the lessons and whatever that's needed. And then I don't put any kind of work towards it either. That's been kind of playing out too, I've seen. And so again, because they keep on saying about this working, that we have to work. So we have to make sure that we're putting in that we're doing it with care, which means to care for something. Because if we don't do things, it gets neglected. It breaks down. It does not. My mom always has a rule that's saying about like machines and appliances. It's like, well, if you don't use it, it's going to break down on you. When the time you're going to want to use it, it ain't going to be working for you. And so it's like, yeah, so in order for it to keep on working in the way that we want them to, hey, Sabrina, and also, and Margaret, yeah, so in order for that to always happen, oh, you have a breast implant? Well, maybe that's what I picked up on. Okay, I didn't know that somebody on the on YouTube said that they had a breast ultrasound today, and I was wondering why did I slip and say the word breast all of a sudden? It didn't make any sense. And so one of my sunshiners, Margaret, was saying that she had breast ultrasound, and that's why I mentioned the word breast. So again, see how I tap into the collective. That's why you should be on the either YouTube or whatever, because I do tap into. No, shameless plug. You really should be part of the Patreon of Rays of Sunshine. Go to www.patreon.com/Rays of Sunshine, because there I tap into the energies about whoever has signed on to be a part of it. And so I tap into those things. Mimi will tell you, didn't I tap into you? I did a reading, and all of a sudden her little spirit jumped up and said, how you do that? And she's like, yes. And so if you was on YouTube, you'll be able to see her saying that. And she's like, yeah, I sure was asking about what that was. So again, so those are the things there. So when we're talking about that caring spirit, and we want this abundance, which means everything almost like the sun car, everything like the sun. But in order for you to get abundance, and they bring this to me, to get your harvest, guess what? You got to put in what? Work. You just don't say, here I am, and that's it. You've got to actually put some form of work in order for you to be able to reap your own harvest. And that's why I say we got work to do. So when we're looking at the divine feminine energies here, I got the card Honeymoon in reverse. First thing when I looked there and I said, okay, let me just kind of like really just sit with this for a while. Because Spirit told me to say, this time I want you to kind of sit with it and really see what the energies are telling you. So when I got Honeymoon in reverse, it stated to me, it's like no rest for the weary, no honeymoon and sitting back. Learning how to is like a more so of an 80-20 split, more the work and then resting too. Not more of us like resting on our morals. That's what he keeps on saying. That it's not. This is not really the time to do that. It's time for us to be able to put in the work. No honeymoon phase. Honeymoon phase is over with. That's just like with a marriage. You kind of together, and then you say, okay, now the work begins in the marriage, because it's like, okay, now I get to know you and you get to know me, and now it's time for me to actually put in the work. now to our marriage, because all that lovey-dovey and chocolate and all that, bringing in flowers all the time, and now he's like, okay, now I gotta really the little so-called, not act, I wouldn't even say that, but the way in which you got the person, you got to now start to work to kind of keep that person as well. So this is where we are with that. The next thing here, what we have here is we need to put in the work, because we got to build some confidence. Confidence, to me, this looks like a pillar. Pillar always represents foundation. So we need to build a foundation as to in our divine feminine energies. Divine feminine energies, those of you new on IG, which means what's happening within us. Our spiritual things, the things that the emotions, the movement, the energies that are within us. So we need to build this foundation. So we really truly, when I look at this is something for me to celebrate about. This is really for me to be able to open up, to have that freedom. You got these stars here, which is hopes and wishes and dreams. So in order for you to be confident in something, you got to kind of get out there. You got to, again, how you do that, the more you work, the more you do things, the more you build confidence as well to that. So this is what they're saying. Okay, next thing is got the time for a nap in reverse, which again goes back to what I said there. This is not time for us to feel like we need to rest. There's time for that. But again, we've got to work on our cleverness, which means, again, the understanding the connection of heaven and earth, how we can do, again, and I'm reading the book called Sometime for the Ages, which is talking about, they say, again, when we're talking about sources energy is to bring here to there, which means, again, where I'm at now is the here. Where I want to get to is over there. So in order for me to make that change there, I've got to be able to bring, again, so within, so without. That's that connection between the spirit, the divine feminine energies within, and the divine masculine energies without. So whatever, again, that goes back to us taking the lead, whatever's going on within us as divine feminine energies, we've got to make those changes so that the outside can start reflecting what's happening in the inside. Okay. And so in order for us to do that, we've got to make that connection between the two energies as well. So how do we get there? We got to use our intuition and awareness, which is represented by the moon. And you see the moon here. Let the moon energies about what's all coming in, reverse it. I'm seeing, what's his name? Oh, Lord, I can see him. John Witherspoon from Boomerang saying, reverse it. Take that energy and work it in there like the person in Chi, where, again, when you do martial arts and they take that energy and they work it around and they make it to their own good. And so that's what you have to do. Take the energies and work it to your own benefit. Next thing is stop the feeling of being orphaned. Okay, divine feminine energies feels like, again, keeps on concentrating on I've been abandoned, I've been left alone, where there's abandonment by childhood wounds, abandoned by also the divine masculine. Whatever it is, this left out in the cold energies, you're going to have to put that in the past and just say, forget it. Because again, they're saying in order for us to do the work, to me, this is almost like a ball and chain. This is not helping us to have forward movement with ease by having this energies, especially when we're trying to get to work. Plus, for the divine feminine energies, we're still in that in-between-ish. Right, I do when I walk, okay? I just had the thought being a twin flame is hard work, which makes sense because we are divine children of God's. On your healings, is that spotting or okay? On your healing and meditation, spiritual gifts, and various relationships, same as husband and wife, okay? Yes, and it is like that. It's like, well, I keep on. I mean, it is. It's the divine union. Okay. What we're looking for is to move from, again, what's my reading in my book, from here to there, which is the divine union, where they're actually physically are moving into manifesting in the physical, but we're already married. That person is already, I'm about to say, they're already your ball and chain. Well, we already are tied to each other. But what we can't really get around it is because, again, society and the matrix and the programming keeps on programming to us like he's not there, you're crazy. See, this is what's bringing up there, and that's a good point, Margaret. That is what is bringing up. See, it took me off the IG because I went on and did that. That's all right. That is, Okay, yeah, yeah, you can use that one. I'm gonna have to come back again and add from camera roll. Hold on a second. Save as draft. Let me go back. Sorry. Okay. This is I have to do part two because this is doing that. This is what this two thing here, which is between worlds, is talking about, because it keeps us from not being able to stay in that divinity or into that space of this twin flame, because we keep on thinking about, well, what society say, what people want to say, what is it. That's not really how I was raised to be. This is not religiously what I believe. This is not how I was raised religiously. And this causes that duality and that conflict between the spirit and the outside, into the manifestation, into the real world. It causes that conflict between the divine feminine energies and the divine masculine energies. Divine masculine energies is looking to the divine feminine, say, oh, we're going to do this. And then you come and you start having that inside turmoil. Now, wait a second. I don't think we're going to do this because it don't make sense to me. Some in my spirit is now saying this ain't the way to go, because now I'm start looking at outside things to define and tell me what this is supposed to be. And so this is what's caused this between worlds there, instead of us actually taking a stance and actually saying, okay, yes, we are divinely married together. Do we got to have, again, this is the change in the wind. Change in the wind is about our spirituality. Okay, so I'm always channeling before I'm even seeing these cards. So here again, we got, again, changing the wind means we got to pick a direction and we got to stay with it spiritually, because we want this freedom. But we have to understand that when I see the zebra here, and this is used as a mode of transportation, which means getting me from point A to point B, the way we're going to get to point A to point B is not going to look like the regular way in which everybody on that Joe Smo would believe that you go about going from point A to point B. It's going to be something that's going to be out of the box thinking. And that's where they're saying, I think some of these energies, we got some Aquarian energy that's going on. I don't know if this is Saturn or whatever like that. That's where we be able to utilize that energy that's happening right now too as well, because Aquarian energy is always thinking about innovation. How can I do this against the norm? So this would be something that you would tap into as well. We have truth be told, because again, we got to get very truthful as to what we are and what we actually want. We got to get wiser there. We got to really look into our soul and align with it. Where's the soul housed? The soul is housed in the heart, which means we got to get with our heart's desire. We got to take the mask off too about this stuff, because it's interesting. It's a gold mask. Gold represents understanding. Gold also represents to me almost like fool's gold. It's like, okay, I might be masking like I'm all this in a bag of chips, but then when it comes down to it, that's not really my personality here as well. I don't know, spirit is leading me saying look at your ascension sign too as well. Those of you all that's in ascension sign is in those fours that I just mentioned, Sagittarius, Gemini, Virgo, and Pisces. If it's there, what's going on in this eclipse is going to really hit you hard as far as knowing who you are. It says ascension, and now it's saying sun. Yeah, ascension, no. It could go both ways too. It could do some, but I'm gonna say ascension really, and I hope I'm not going against what source want telling me, because ascension is the way you project yourself out into the world. Okay, so if you don't know that, so again, ascension is how you portray. So again, it would hit those people who are Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo, and Pisces the most, because of, again, if that's how you're portraying yourself, you got to watch that duality going on with those two energies too as well. So watch how it is. Make sure you're not projecting out there no fool's gold, or I'm all this or this, kind of like I have it all together, when you know that there's some things that you still have to work on, because we want to operate from truth. So there's the root cause and the things in which we got to really actually concentrate on. Okay, remember that again is you, that I said at the beginning in my spiel about you being a co-creator. Co-creator means, again, understand, is you and universe, not the universe working against you and the universe giving you the orders. We're working this out together. So that's something that we have to remember again as we are working from getting into the work, and stop doing just being on honeymoon stage. Okay. the days of that is over with. Or maybe I would say, even with me, I'm always accusing, and I put out there because you know how I am, that the divine feminine is always staying in the 5D. She's rarely staying herself in the 3D. 3D is not comfortable for the divine feminine energies. We can fantasize, have sex with them, doing everything, going on dates with them, everything. And then when we try to bring it down to the 3D stuff, we got a conflict. It's like, Houston, we got a problem. We ain't got liftoff. So this is something, again, when we're talking about leaving this honeymoon stage there, in the this part is something that we truly have to kind of work with. And this is interesting. The next card that comes out is here for the yin. We've got to work on this divine feminine energies as far as us really truly being able to receive the stuff that we need to do. It says the information. We got to receive the hard talks. Maybe somebody's talking to us, tell us about things that we got to be able to fix. But we also got to be able to stop being the person who's the martyr, again, playing the role, like I told you before, of the one who is being, I need to be saved, or I'm the one that's doing it as the role as being the divine feminine. Those things too as well, because we have to understand that when we're talking about in our feminine, we have a tendency that we always want to give, but we have a problem of receiving too. Knowing our worth, they're saying, knowing our worth is very big. It should be coming up now to understand, you know what, I'm worthy of this relationship, or I'm worthy of this twin flame connection. I'm worthy of these gifts that spirit is bringing to me. So that's something that we have to think of in the back of our minds too as well. For the divine masculine, it was just simple and sweet in his energies, is that he's got to remember to keep an open mind. Now, this in our divine masculine energies, remember, we house both. And I'm kind of pretty much proud on some of the twin flame communities, because we're now getting to the point that we're not just slapping that label just on the divine masculine, at least the ones that I'm seeing coming through my timeline and people are talking. If you got anybody that still talk about the divine masculine energies and their reading and they acting like it's solely to the male, you're going to have to start kicking that person, that reading to the curb. I'm just going to keep it 100, because we are now moving into the energies of coming together. That person is not promoting union. I don't care if it gets back or whoever it is that it is, but my thing is they're not promoting union at all, because if they acting like it's only in this person, sure, you do have days in which the divine masculine might be more housed in your counterpart or in your cohort, and I might be more in my divine masculine, he might be in his divine feminine. But a guarantee on that, depending on the situation, we swap energies. We do not stay stabilized in the same energies all the time. So if they're talking that like what that way, you're going to have to kind of start leaving them alone. Spirit is saying that, because we got to promote us understanding that we sometimes are the good guy and sometimes we are the bad guy. So rather that's divine feminine energies or the divine masculine energies. So we have to keep an open mind to this. Again, about who's responsible for, they're telling me, for the work. So we can't also be saying it's just divine feminine because it's the female, but understanding that sometimes we got to grab that work to be able to do it. Or we have to, in our divine masculine energies, there's some work that we have to do as far as us in the outside, in the material world, as well as far as also in the divine feminine energies within ourselves, about the work that we have to do spiritually. Okay, because at the end of the day, it's all about union with self. Rather, is regardless with the person or whomever, is about you following your bliss. So we have to get open-minded, because they say it might be the soulmate may differ from your usual type of expectations. I'm not even going to slap it onto a mate. I'm going to also say, remember again, the way that those when I say soulmate, to me now Spirit is saying about what things connects with your soul. Okay, and whatever things that connects with your soul and the things that it wants, and it's a match. Mate to me means match as well. You're going to find yourself seeing that it's going to differ the way in which you thought you were going to get into that thing that you felt that is your true bliss or what makes you happy. So you have to, again, be open-minded how it comes. Not even open-minded to you and get into your bliss, but you got to be open-minded also as to how you're going to be with your person, how that's going to come about. You can be really looking at connected to just the expectations of exactly seeing it happen a certain way. You just have to be open-minded, and that's especially when you're in your divine masculine energies as a female, seeing how it's going to manifest in the divine masculine energies, which means in the world, and how it's going to be able to come about. Okay, so that's something that you got to keep in mind there too as well. And it says make the effort. So with this here, we got two energies represented in this card, which lets me know the divine feminine energies. Again, here we have her kind of like unsure. Okay, that's the divine femininity in our spirituality, unsure. But I see here it's got like this little pink sash here, which lets me know that she is let's see, I see 333, which means again we got to get ourselves in alignment. So that means everything double alignment. We got to get both those energies together. Divine feminine energies can be kind of wavery, and the divine masculine energies is like, yes, let's do this. So we have to make the effort. Okay, 233, good. Okay, all right, good. And so then, yes, all right, Sabrina. So you have to get to the point that it's saying that great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. And I'm gonna say anything that you love, you've got to get out of that comfort zone, and you got to actually go ahead and move yourself forward to make sure that you make these things happen. And that's why I say again, the work has to happen. So in the divine masculine energies, sometimes we got to leave it up to serendipitous events, which means again fated events where it all comes together. That does not mean take your work, your power within yourself and to go out there and create it to make it happen. You just do the work and then allow for things to happen. You got to kind of get yourself in your willpower. Thank you. And for that to happen and for it to make those connections happen, because a lot of times you make yourself, I hear my dad saying, you make yourself sick if you try to force yourself to go ahead and do that, like projects and things like that. Sometimes with this retrograde energies right now, there's hard to kind of sometimes start things or projects. If you have projects that you have already, they've always been the thing of it. If you started a project before, it's okay through the retrograde because you can keep on. But sometimes they always say, and that's not true. And that's what they say. So you always know that you're the one who makes your fate. So they state also that you might be, if you're starting something during the retrograde, there might be some opposition with that. Okay, I'm just kind of warning you and keeping yourself open to that. But again, that's not always written in stone, because I've told you before about retrogrades and things like that. I've had the best retrograde not knowing what was going on. But I'm just telling you, for some of you, I'll say, hey, I started something. Why this ain't connecting together? Just keep that in the back of your mind. Say, oh, that's right. Divine Sunshine sure did tell me about these retrogrades. And sometimes it's a little hard to get things started. Okay. So now, those things. So just allow things. I see green. Let your heart lead and tell you where you're going to specifically go. So you need to, the life changes that's going to occur in both the divine feminine and the divine masculine energies is you be true to you. Okay. No matter what, follow your bliss. Okay. Make sure you got these connections, healthy connections with people. Get people aligned with you in your network of people that are going in the same directions as you are. If they're not, don't worry about it. Either you'll find yourself cutting them off, or either the universe is going to cut them off. There's two ways about that, because right now they're telling me you're a precious commodity. And when something is a precious commodity, if things look like it's going to start to abort things or things that's going to work against you, is it going to find a way to stop that? Okay. And then I got black here. We got yellow here, which means to stand in your authority. Know who you are here. So the next thing is what do we need to surrender? For the divine feminine energies, you need to surrender to the drama. Okay. No matter how emotionally charged the situation remains, calm and don't contribute to the drama. Staying Ooh. Staying centered will help resolve the issue more quickly. So again, that's what I told you. Steady love. Stay steady on it. No matter what's going on the outside, what things are actually occurring or popping up. Say the drama for your mama. Then, which again for us spiritual will be save that stuff and send that and recycle it right on down into mother guys. Send it right on down there. Say the drama to your mom. Just send it right on down there for it to be recycled and say I'm gonna let Mother Earth handle that because I'm not going to be able to. I'm not going to contribute to that stuff right now because I know where I'm going. Okay, and so you got to find yourself being centered, and it's going to be itself, and don't you get caught up in it either. Do part two. Yeah, okay, and don't you even find yourself doing that as well. Okay, the next thing is that I'm gonna say that to that one. Save as a draft. Sorry. Okay. And then the next thing I'm going to have here is, again, surrender to non-action. So again, now is the time to be still and not act. Simply breathe and focus on your own power. Let others come to you. And that's almost the same thing like I was talking about the divine masculine. For the divine feminine energies, there is right now what is bringing to me, because when I seen it I say isn't that kind of acting, that's like being like two conflicting messages. I did see that when I pulled that out, and you said we got work to do but at the same time no action, which means what that is, having no action is understanding that when the drama comes up, you know, don't have any action to it. When things don't seem like it's coming your way, don't have any action to it. My understanding that this retrograde is coming in, there's going to be some interesting stuff. And some of you all I know on the trigger or whatever like that in there that may come up for some. That's why I'm telling you ahead of time to make sure that you set your intentionalities no matter what comes your way. It's a blessing, it's a breakthrough, and it's going to work for my best of my benefit. Okay, so that's one thing that you have to set out there. Also remember that again, when those things do occur or happen or whatever it is that might be, because it's lessons. So again, lessons come and they come to change things for you to either think differently than the way you thought you were, put you on the right path, maybe you're going in the wrong direction. And that's what those lessons are. And it's really nothing to be triggered about it, because even when we've learned, even on this channel, that even when the triggers come, we take it, we sit, we analyze, we look at it and say, oh, okay, I see what you meant to teach me. Now from this point on, I'm going to look back at it, dissect it, trisect it, work through it, and then move on and go on to the next step. Just real, like I tell the kids, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay. So the next thing for the divine masculine energies, and this is it, and this is wrapping up, surrender to the wisdom of your body. So listen to your body's messages about a person or a situation. If you feel physically drained or uncomfortable, be cautious. If you are energized and happy, move forward. So let your body be a tuning fork. That's what they just told me. Let your body be a tuning fork. Really open yourself up in order for you to be able to feel the energies, just like for the divine truth. And say again, if you're feeling this, say, oh, I got that pit feeling in my stomach again about this. Every time this person come around about this situation, well, guess what? It's time for you to kind of move off of that situation and move back, because something about that is real unsettling. It'll tell you. Every time I think on this situation, I get a headache on it. Okay, well, it's overwhelming. You don't have the answer for that. So that again, that tells you maybe need to pull back. It's too much pressure on that. Okay, when you get with the things, you get giddy, you get light, it feels good. Okay, well, then that's something that maybe you need to continue doing. Again, if it's causing you, like I had Saturday, to clean, it's something in my body that says I want to be constantly moving. It's some energy that I want within myself I want to get rid of. Okay, and so it's like, okay, I got to burn it off some way. Now, what is it that I'm not dealing with or I need to deal with? And it's telling me you need to clean this up because you're not dealing with it. Then that's what it's telling me. My body felt like I got to clean. I got to do something. I got to get rid of this energy. So that is something that we have to make sure that we are listening to our bodies, listening to what it's telling us. And also you can always look it up or Google search it on that one to see what it is, what your body is telling you. But a lot of times this is where Source wants you. And then I'm going to cut it off from here. Source is getting to the point of it that really it wants you to sit down and know to thyself be true. which means you know the answers. Now, you can ask somebody to verify, but I really would like to just tell you all to first check in with yourself. Trust yourself. That's half of our problem. We keep on looking without. And us as divine twin flames, they want us to really truly get to the point. That's the advice I'm saying to myself. You can do this. You can have the answers. And at that point, all you're doing is just really verifying by somebody else and confirming, yep, that's what I felt. But you should not be getting to the point where you're going out to get the answer and you didn't check in with yourself first. It should be readings or anything should just be a confirmation about what you're doing, or that's it. It's just a GPS. And I keep on stressing this as to knowing what it is. I like how a lady had said the other day. She said, well, when you get readings on your person, all you should be doing is just trying to get the understanding of your person's heart, not trying to dip into other kind of areas or anything like that. And that helps you to really truly understand what you need to do. Okay, let me keep on working on myself, because it seemed like from this reading, he's still wrapped up in X, Y, and Z. Or it looked like he's making his way to me. What I'm doing right now is good. So let me keep on working on this, doing these readings. Let me keep on working on building my empire, because it looks like, according to the reading that I got from her, he's working his way to me. Okay, that's what the reading should be about. That's what I mean by GPS. Okay, GPS is just understanding the location of you and the location of your person. And I'm going to keep on stressing that as well. It should not be anything else other than that. Okay. All right, then. So with that, Spirit has, and I will start that in June. Spirit told me that I need to open up and then I'll be free from my school by that time too, to do GPS readings. That will only be concerned of a 3-card reading. And told me the number is 1717. For you, if you want to get an understanding as to where your person's heart is, where they are, as far as in the connection, that will start in June. Not now. The 1st of June, I will do those and be 1717. And I'll put that on Divine Unisouls 11.co. So I will do those to help you to know where you are as far as where your person is in location, as far as you are in the connection. Okay. That's what I will be doing. It says that she helped clean house and got real sick, and now she's better now. Okay, interesting. Good. Okay, yeah. So that's what I did. I cleaned out and I had the. Oh, you do 3 cards? Good, right. That's it. Don't get all in depth, 7, 10 cards and all that stuff. You Spirit that told me, said that's enough, you can't keep on flipping it down to the finite about the stuff. Some of that stuff is you got to put in the pieces of it. And just to get a GPS section of what it is. It's not even to feel bad or guilty about it. It's just, I'm just trying to get an understanding as to where that person is. And that's what Spirit was telling me. They just need that. Just sometimes you just need to know, so you know which way you can flow. Okay. Oh, the angels led you, right? And trust yourself. I've always said that, trust you ourselves. I think a lot of us collectively are looking to others to tell us the answer, and we've got to kind of stop that. We should only be going to readers only to confirm what it is that we think that's going on, or if they can fill in the blanks, that's great. And then after that reading, the next question you should be asking yourself, okay, now what do I have to work on? Okay. Now, if you're getting all caught up in the drama, I knew he was, and that's what I thought, and then all that doing is get you swept into the drama and stuff, then I would tell you stop doing the readings then, because it's not helping you on your purpose. Because the next minute you're pissed at him and you're mad at him, and the next minute you're like, I want him. So my thing is, if you're not coming in there with that kind of mindset, and I love you, but I keep it 100. If you're not coming in there with that mindset to still say, okay, that's what he's doing, now this is what I got to work on, then you need to check yourself before you wreck yourself, because that is what those readings are. They're just insight. Insight means I get an understanding of what's going on. It shouldn't be up there, it's going to start blowing my mind, messing up my world either. After I get the reading like that, then I would suggest you not to get those things. Okay. All right, then. Here's a couple of people. What's happening? And I do. Okay. All right then. So that is it on that one to make sure. So you could go either on, I think I got where's my things. Don't forget my podcast. You could go over there on my podcast and see I do that. Now that one on my podcast, I just do regular talks on podcast Divinely Speaking Unplugged, you can find anywhere that is streaming. I do those to for the collective. I talked about the divine information, twin flame information, but I give it to them in a way in which is palatable for anybody, whether you're divine or not. So I kind of sneak in my message that way, and I do talk about it, but I don't harp on it. I just let for anybody, Joe Smo, that wants to read, listen to what I have. I'm on there. So if you're interested in that, just the basic principles of being divine, I would strongly suggest you go over there to Divine Speaking Unplugged. You can find me on Spotify, Apple, Podbean, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music. So go over there and catch me on that one. That's just for everybody. It's divine twin flame talk, but it's disguised as just regular spiritual principles. Okay. All right then. And then next also, if you want to don't forget the 6/6 event is happening too on this channel, which is we have workshops and yoga practices. It's going to be at 2 p.m. Central Time as well. So make sure you go to Divine Unisouls 11. Divine Unisouls on YouTube as well. For that, the playground experience has now been moved. It's now been moved to its own channel. So we're on Fridays. You can catch us Fridays on at 7. I'm gonna make it 7:40. 7:40 Central Time. So go to the playground, look it up. The playground experience on YouTube, which is hosted by, I'm talking to IGTV people, YouTube people know. But if you're new to it, you don't know. Hosted by myself, April Williams, and Kathy D. Is almost like the talk, and we have special guests come on as well. So that's why we call it the playground experience. If you want a reading with me until I put the specials up, you can always go to divineUnisouls11.co, and I have all my reading specials there as well. And I also, this one is separate. I don't put them together because some people might come to me and don't want the readings, but they want the healing. So those of you all that's on there that wants like healing from trauma and pain that's held in the body, and then also for past life regression sessions to know what's happening in past life, please make sure you go to www.ashantywellnesscenter.com, and you can be able to book something online right there. Don't forget about my Patreon. I just talked about that, www.patreon.com/Raise the Sunshine, where it is a group we're starting in the week of May 30th. We will start doing a Sunday at 7 p.m. Chat as well. So you got to be a part of the Patreon group where we talk it out and see what's the energies and what things, because you know this walk, when we talk about being twin flames, sometimes it can be very lonely because you don't have anybody understand you. They looking at you like, oh, that's nice, okay, and like I said, drop him. You're like, wait a second, it ain't that easy. It ain't about that life. It's just like, I can't do that. That ain't what God, that ain't what Source said. Now, you don't want me to suffer, but it ain't about that. So, a lot of times you got to find somebody that understand you. And so I'm there as your transformational coach. They're talking to you, seeing what the problems, what the issues are, and we're there for each other as well. So that piece will start because it'll be summertime, and I'm waiting for things to kind of loosen from the full-time job. In June, I can start, and so I could transition very easily into the summertime when I don't have being a full-time teacher as well. So if you want that component where I talk to you and I keep it real, I keep it 100, I don't do fluff on there as well. And that's what you need. You need somebody to kind of cut through all this stuff and help you. Again, please be a part of the patreon.com, Raise the Sunshine. I've had a lot of people that I've helped transform. They find themselves going ahead and writing books, doing all different kind of things, starting channels everything from that being a part of with me, because once I coach you and I transform you and to get you straight onto your mission, a lot of people with working with me, that's usually the natural thing of flow with them, that I ignite something with them and they'll say, okay, I'm going out there to create. I'm starting to do my own YouTube channel. I'm starting to do that. I got a lot of people that have said they started and watched me and they went on. What's my girl? Blue 777. She did that as well. So I mean, I got people out there that will tell you, they give credence to, they say, because of you, watching you, I was able to say I'm going out there to help out and send out my message in my own way. Rather it's writing books. I got another one that comes on here as well, that she's written a book, and I inspired and worked with her to do that as well. I got to get on her. She got to tell me, Kia Creation, she got to tell me when she gonna get this book out here as well. So all those different kind of things as well that I help out. So that's what specialized, because I'm working with a coach too, and she's telling me, you know, you ain't telling people about what's the stuff that you have, some testimonies and some actual people that's really have done underneath your work. As well. And so that's that. That's not bragging. I'm just letting you know, I'm not up here been talking for 4 years and I don't have nothing to show. No things. April Williams, Kathy D, Bonita, all these people they've worked with, they went on and said, I'm starting my own stuff with. So again, that is ways in which helping other people to get and find their own bliss. Okay. I think that is it for me. And then the next thing, I got my thing, and that is it. So the next thing is make sure that you click like, share, and subscribe to this channel as well. I meant to be a couple of minutes, but as usual, it's always something else. So then make sure that you click like, share, and subscribe to this channel, because it helps with the algorithms, okay? As you already seen for yourself, it's being interesting. They said there was only 1 people that's on here, and then found out it was 4 people that was in the Sunshine Lounge, but it was telling me it was nobody watching me. So that's why I'm saying about this YouTube and these algorithms, their stuff is off. And the only way they can be able to help, and you know about the truth, and I'm very passionate about results. I'm very passionate in making sure that people are getting this message, and I'm not doing it from a place of, it's just me trying to get the best of what's going on, or is the money out here. That's not my stick, okay? I do want the money, but my thing is that I want to make sure I'm seeing results. I like it when I see you all saying, Sunshine, I did this, I did what you said. I like those comments. And please comments too. That helps to help with the algorithms too, to get out of the rut with a lot of us. Anybody that you're watching, make sure you thumbs up, you like them. That helps them to get in the head of the pack so that people can be able to watch them as well. So it's not an ego thing or whatever that you some people might be sitting here thinking, oh, she just want that because that's not that. I have a message. I'm out here making sure that I'm getting it out there, and I'm finding several platforms to make sure it gets out there. I'm not going to let one monkey stop my show, because I know that the stuff that I have is straight from source and it needs to be heard. Okay, and all I ask is for your assistance in doing so. All right, then, as always, the next time I probably come on here, I don't know if it'll be live, I'll see, will be doing about the energies for the moon, the eclipse that's coming on here as well. And then don't forget about Friday, most definitely we'll be on the playground, and my podcast. I always drop 2 podcasts per week, so a new one is coming on there too as well. So you got a lot of feels from me that you could be able to tap into the energy. All right, as always, stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascended. Namaste. Let me look over here in the sunshine. Thank you to my Sunshine Lounge people as well. All right, then, you're going to book it. You're going to book it. You're going to book it. All right, then, as well. Stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascended. Namaste. Namago. Mwah. Love you, and I'll be talking to you real soon. All right, then, until next time. See ya.